How's it going, guys? It's Carl here from North Coast Constrictors. My previous video I did a video on cleaning tanks and enclosures, and it's now the following morning. Yes, I'm wearing the same clothes that I wore last night because I don't want to get them dirty again. It's my little boy Max, my son Max. He's 9. Max is in the snake room. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer my sub-adult female lavender albino reticulated python back into her clean enclosure. Before we do that, and today I have a camera lady, just want to come and show you how her tank is nice and set up now, ready for her. She's got fresh substrate, fresh water. I use a combination of retic bark, wood chip, and plastic imitation leaves, and then some finer wood chip at the bottom to soak up any the urate. I know a lot of guys use paper for their retics. I prefer to keep it more natural. I've got to clean it a bit more often, not more often, but I've got to spot clean often. And yes, sometimes I can have an issue with little insects and whatever, but I just keep it clean regularly. But that's I find that this is more close to their natural environment. So anyway, let me pull it out. That stood overnight because I disinfected it, I've bleached it, I let the bleach stand to kill any bacteria, then I wiped it down, and then I sprayed it down again with F10 to disinfect it even more. Then I wiped that down and I let it stand in air overnight, and then I put fresh clean substrate in. All the bark, the wood chip, the driftwood has all been sprayed down and then dried overnight for about 14 hours with F10. Now it's completely sterile and ready for her to go back. Now notice, here she is in one of the holding tubs. If you want to just come have a look here, she's curled up nicely on a hot spot. And when I take her out, I use the tap hook training method now. I just rub her gently on the head so that she knows it's not food. And now it's safe for me to take my hands inside there and pull her gently out of the holding tub. Okay, and this is my girl Honey. She's a lavender albino retic. I don't just want to throw her straight into her tub. I like to give her a little bit of handling time. You know, she's that's how you keep your snake social. She's just taking in everything now. She's got some tongue flicks that she's smelling, she's assessing. She's been in a different tub the whole night. As I told you, retics are incredibly active animals. This is, but they are nocturnal, so this is kind of like it's early morning now. Not so early, but it's I think it's nearly 8 o'clock, 7:45. Hello, my girl. And for them now it's time for her to go to bed. Okay. Also, just to show you how great this girl is, she can be handled by my son Max, who's she'll take a few tongue flicks to take in his scent and whatnot. She is a daddy's girl though. She likes to come back to me. But you know, Max, she's not in the least bit threatened or anxious. She's a great snake, and she's very gentle, and I keep her socialized and handle her as often as possible so that we don't have any accidents or we don't have an aggressive snake. Now what I'm going to do is I've got to rush off. I've got some important things to do today. I've got a full morning ahead of me, so I want to put it into the tank, her enclosure that's nice and fresh, and I want to record it and show you how we do it. So just come over here. Now, sometimes she can be a little bit difficult because she wants to be held. She doesn't want to go back into her enclosure. So it takes a little bit of sometimes encouragement, but I never force them in. I'll always let her go in at her own pace, and she's now smelling. Everything's fresh, everything's new, everything's sterilized. Her old scent markings are not here. She's probably going to try and come out again. and I'm gonna have to just encourage her. You see, because I've been handling her now, when I put my hand in front of her face, she does not strike or bite or anything like that, because she's out of feeding response. She's now in her inquisitive mode, where she's taking in all the scents and the smells. Okay, so if you come around and film here, you can see how she's crawling all over the driftwood and giving everything a good tongue flicking. And what I'm going to do now is close her inside there and secure the tank. She's got fresh water, fresh substrate, and she'll do a little once over around the tank, and then she'll probably go back and settle underneath the driftwood there where her hotspot is. She may have a drink of water. I left her water bowl out last night, and she's got fresh water in, so she might have a drink of water, and then she'll go into the corner of the tank and she'll settle down on her hotspot for the day. Anyway guys, that's it from me and my son Max, his future aspiring snake breeder. And yeah, that was just a little video on our retic and her new enclosure, well, her freshly cleaned enclosure. And later on today I'll finish up with the one, the Dumerils boa, and I'll record that one as well. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow, and we really appreciate it. Welcome any new followers, and thanks to all the existing followers. Over and out from us. Cheers. How's it going? It's Carl here from North Coast Constrictors. So I've just finished doing the Dumerils tank. She's got fresh substrate. Driftwood has been cleaned with F10 and disinfected. The whole tank was bleached and then scrubbed down, and then F10 and scrubbed down, stood overnight, and she's got fresh substrate. So she's in a holding tub now. This is my big girl Athena. Notice how I use my hook here. She's very defensive at the moment. This is not her normal enclosure, that is. So all I'm doing now is I'm just touching on the head with this, so I don't stand a chance of getting bitten as I take her out. And yeah, she is. So this is a Dumerils boa, native to Madagascar. Stunning animal. She is very nervous at the moment. She's got me in a very tight lock around my arm, as you can see. Just try and calm her down a little bit. There's also a very big bright light. You truly can feel the strength of these animals if you could feel the way she has locked me around my arm like this. She's a very big girl, and she's a constrictor, and that's what she's doing right now. I'm pretty screwed if she had to go for me. Okay, so now that she's got me almost like handcuffs, it's time to transfer her back into her tub. Not into her tub, into her tank. Okay, so what I like to do is let them go in by themselves. She will go pretty quickly. That's her hotspot over there. Just it doesn't look like she feels like going back in, but now I'll just use the snake hook and gently get her back inside. Very, very strong snakes. Very, very strong snakes. No, girl, in you go. Right, so that's her inside her enclosure. She's going to be all over the place now, taking in the fresh new scents. And she'll settle down. I normally would hold her for a little bit longer, but when she started to constrict me around both my arms there, that is a situation you don't want to be in, because her head was going straight up for my face, which is a heat point and a heat source, and I stood a very good chance of getting tagged in the face there, and I had my arms locked like a handcuff, so I had to get her off quickly and get her into the tank quickly. But as you can see now, she is inside. She's starting to settle down a little bit. She's got fresh water, and I'll turn her light off and let her get settled. And then that's it. And that's I'll give her a couple of days. If you come around here, you can just see her head sticking out on the other side of the driftwood there. She's got some fresh water. She can smell it. She hasn't had water for 24 hours. So she's got a nice clean tub of water, and I'll give her a couple of days and then I'll offer her a meal. Anyway guys, that's it from me here at North Coast Constrictors. That was a bit of a hairy one. I know it didn't look too bad, but when I had both her entire body trapped literally around both my wrists like that, and she was coming straight up for my face. And that's not a good sign. She was very, very defensive today. She's normally a lot more chilled than that. So I think it's because she was in this tub overnight and she's not used to it. And she likes her enclosure, she likes her tank, and that's where she is now, so she'll settle down. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until the next video, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hey guys, how's it? Carl here again from North Coast Constrictors. I'm saying hello again, but you'll probably see this all in one video. We've done this in stages over 2 days. Right now, this is my son Max, by the way. Just cleaned, sterilized the male Dumerils enclosure. I've got this enclosure in a rack that's between ball python tubs. I've got yearling ball pythons and adult breeder females over here. And in this tub here, I keep my male Dumerils boa. Now, we've just disinfected that tub, that rack, cleaned it, disinfected it, bleach, F10, the whole lot, new substrate. And we're going to take him now and I'm going to transfer him from his holding tub into the new one. Well, into the fresh one. He has been a bit feisty, just like the other Dumerils. He's bucking and fighting. Yeah, alright, so I'm not sure. There's something. Alright, there we go. Just calm down, boy. There, calm down. Alright, so this is my male Dumerils. Okay, beautiful specimen, lovely snake. He is hungry right now. He really wants to eat. I'm trying to obviously do all the cleaning of the tubs before I feed, because once they've eaten, I like to, especially the Dumerils, I like to leave them for about 5 days before any handling is done. And yeah, but he's a bit skittish at the moment because I took him out of his enclosure and put him in the holding tub, and he's not quite used to that. He can smell a whole bunch of other snakes. This is actually a really, really cool snake. You can see he's actually started to relax now. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put him inside. I'm going to put him inside his enclosure, his new freshly cleaned enclosure, and let him chill, let him relax. You can see he's quite eager to get inside there. Now, some of you are watching this and probably picked up that for that size snake, that enclosure he's now outgrown that enclosure, and he is going to go into a bigger enclosure. He's just in there temporarily. He has grown quite quickly. I have not been power feeding him or anything. He's just one of those snakes that got really massive really quickly. He's a phenomenal snake. He's got a hell of a feeding response. But he's still quite content in that enclosure. I do want to put him in a 1.2 or a 1.5 meter enclosure, which will probably happen in about a month or so. But you must understand that most snakes spend a lot of their time curled up in one spot on a hot spot and not moving around at all. that is why, especially if you're a snake breeder, it's important to take your big constrictors out and to handle them and move them and exercise them. Okay, so right now he's back in the enclosure, and he's just gone right into the corner and curled up right where his hot spot is, and that's where he's going to stay now. And he's quite happy there. So guys, yeah, that takes us up to almost the end of the cleaning of the tanks for the big constrictors. I've got one enclosure left to do. It's behind the camera. It's where one of my male retics is in. However, that boy is in the blue at the moment, and he is curled up in his water bowl, and I'm going to leave him inside that enclosure and not clean it until after he's shed. I've spot cleaned it, I've changed the water, but I'm leaving the substrate and everything inside it until after he sheds, because it's going to be a mess after he sheds. Like most of you guys, if you're a retic keeper or breeder, you know what a tank looks like after a retic is shed. So because he's in the blue, I'm holding off on that tank for now. That enclosure, it's not a tank, it's a wooden enclosure with glass sliding doors on the front, and I'm going to leave him in there until he sheds out, and then once he's done that, he's going to do a massive crap, excuse my French, and he'll be shed all over the place, and then I'll clean his enclosure, disinfect it, and put him on there, and that'll be a video for another day. So guys, I hope you enjoyed sharing some time with us and cleaning it. It's not your regular videos that I do with the ball pythons and whatnot, but I hope that you got something out of it. Very, very important to keep your tanks and your enclosures clean and hygienic. Obviously during breeding season with the ball pythons, I don't clean as often because you want the tubs to the females, you want them to mate, breed, ovulate, the males and the whole lot of that, and they just function and work better and breed better. In dirtier tubs, guys, and when I say dirty tubs, I don't mean like full of feces and stuff like that, okay? I spot clean all my tubs, take out the feces, obviously, fresh water, and the parts that I can see that are really bad, if urate and white urate and it dries and solidifies, I take that out, scoop it out, and then just by the handful or by the jug full, roughly about this size here, I top up the substrate, but I try and keep as much of the original smell and scent in that tub as possible during breeding season. And I'll wipe the sides down if there's poop on the sides, but any poop that's inside, I'll take it out. If it's a small poop, I'll leave it in. It carries pheromones when I'm introducing males to females. A tub that's got a bit of poop inside it, nothing wrong with it, and it actually helps with the breeding. It's actually bad to take a female out and completely clean and disinfect and spray down and bleach and F10 and put fresh substrate in the middle of breeding. It kind of upsets the cycle and upsets the balance. If I'm wrong, please feel free to comment below and explain to me why. But that is how I've been taught and educated on ball python breeding and what not to do. A lot of breeders, you often find where breeders are showing their snakes and they open up a tub and they're all embarrassed. Oh, sorry, there's a bit of poop inside there. Please don't think I keep my tubs looking like this and I don't clean. It's impossible. I mean, I literally spend my life inside this room when I'm not at my normal day job, and I'm spot cleaning and whatnot. Then on the weekends, all the tubs get cleaned with F10. And here, this is diluted F10 in a bottle, a 1 liter bottle of water, and this is F10 here. It's just a pet friendly disinfectant. I mix it. You can have a 1 to 1 to 1 liter ratio, 1 milliliter to 1 liter, 2 milliliters to 1 liter, or 3 milliliters milliliters per liter, depending on how strong you want the concentration to be and how you want to. When I'm disinfecting the tubs and I want to clean the tubs, I use a 3 ml to 1 liter ratio, and I spray down the tubs with that, and that, you know, that's what works for me. That's cleaning for mites, protecting against bacteria, things like that. But when the snakes are breeding and the females are breeding, I'll spot clean, and I like them to feel like this is their home and their nest, because when they're breeding, they will in their natural environment wouldn't move. They would eat and poop and urinate in the same spot, and then only after breeding kind of move. So we do keep it relatively clean, but at the same time I like to try and keep all the original smells inside as far as possible during the breeding season. Obviously out of breeding season, every single Saturday and Sunday, depends on how long it takes me, all the tubs come out, cleaned, washed, disinfected and put back in. All the tubs that are inside the snake room, like these ones over here, and ones that you can't see that are behind you, that I've got ball pythons that are not breeding, those are cleaned out and disinfected once a week, and cleaned pretty much like you've seen us clean the retic and the boa enclosures. Anyway guys, from us at North Coast Constrictors, cheers, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to hit like and subscribe, helps grow the channel, and yeah, want to just enjoy the last couple of hours of the weekend, put my feet up and relax, hit some YouTube channels, watch some other good snake breeders out there. Tully's out, Regis Royals, Joe Tully, go give him a follow. Rob Barraclough, Royal Balls, give him a follow on YouTube. Just trying to think a couple of the other YouTube guys that are here in South Africa. There's actually not very many, I mean, there's DJ Van Wyk from Reptiles for Centuries, there's Pulse Pythons, Plush Pythons, you know, there's a lot, there are quite a couple of guys in South Africa, not too many though. Most of the guys that I watch are overseas, like Joe Tully and Rob Barraclough. Obviously I watch Justin Kabalka, always evolving, Chris Hardwick. I know a lot of guys, they say it irritates them to watch him because he's got quite a funny way about him, but he's a world of knowledge when it comes to ball pythons, husbandry, pairing, breeding, genetics. I watch a lot of his stuff. Brian Barczyk as well, but that's a little bit too mainstream for me. I like to watch videos. Actually, I want to say negative things about any breeders. They're all good. I mean, you're not someone like Brian Barczyk for no reason, with the most YouTube followers in the reptile industry for nothing. I guess, you know, me with 320 subscribers, calling someone like. But I mean, we're talking about a guy that's got thousands of snakes in his collection. This channel is designed for the small time hobbyist breeder, new breeder, the guys that are getting into it. You know, we don't do this as to earn a living. It's maybe for sure to try and earn enough money to have a little bit of extra cash so you don't dip into your salary, and also first and foremost for the love of the hobby and snakes and ball pythons and retics and boas. You know, they're just the absolute love of having these incredible animals, and you want it to pay for itself. And hey, what a bonus if you make some money as well on the side. So guys, good luck with your breeding season to all the South African viewers and the Southern Hemisphere viewers that are watching right now, and all the guys that breed year round. If you're busy pairing, locking and getting ovulations, good luck, hope you hit the odds, and we'll catch you on the next video. Cheers.